Captain Gerd Weissler of the East German secret police is implacable, ruthless, and unemotional in his commitment to root out enemies of the communist state in Florian Henkel von Donnersmarck's political thriller, The Lives of Others. But when he is assigned to put the writer Georg Dreimann under strict surveillance, Weissler begins to change. As the situation becomes more complicated, he not only begins to question his allegiance to the state, but wonders what his life has been all about. And what a film this is. I mean, it really is thrilling, absorbing, but beautifully directed by von Donnersmarck, who, this is his debut film.
Well, you know, and it's I guess there's nothing way to go but downhill after this. This was
well, that's the thing. It's the Mark Spitz syndrome. If anyone remembers Mark Spitz out there.
But I think actually instead of Spitz, I think the names that come up to me when watching this were Billy Wilder and Fritz Lang. I think Wilder in the strange social comedy of this uncomfortable menage of, like, you know, two lovers and a secret policeman watching them, and then Lang in just the idea of the subtle, you know, but just all pervasive corrosive effect of a dictatorship, of living under this, you know.
Well, very much like him. I mean, there a lot of the even the sequence we saw when they were setting up the surveillance reminds us a lot of ways that M was edited, and the speed of the sequences, which showed how the police or the gangsters,
what David Thompson calls that the state of emergency quality in the film. But I think what makes this more interesting than just like a surveillance film, and just interesting and specific as a history of like something so recent, we've kind of gone out of the memory of East Germany. I think what interests me is the aspect, the idea of how understanding makes this secret policeman completely worthless. How once he begins to see all, he begins to understand all, and once he does that, he becomes increasingly useless as a blunt instrument of the state. And then that kind of cues in with that line they have about how there must be some music that would cause a person listening to it to become a good person. And that's what happens here too. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying about the same thing, but I'm saying it in a different way.
Yeah.
The cleverness in this film, or what really makes this film work, is not that it is the way the totalitarian state works, but it is about human beings.
Yeah, very much.
And both the author, the poor woman who's caught in the middle of this
Pinched
thing,
by this,
and the secret policeman. But what it shows is how he gets humanized. That's the way I put it. And he really disliked this writer when he first saw him.
Right.
But as he realizes and gets more personally involved, you know, he almost begins to feel paternal about the whole thing. I think you also thought that he had sort of a love interest in the woman.
I think so, because I think it may have been, there was certainly something there. It was more than just being an ordinary stage door Johnny for this noted actress. I'd stick with that.
Well, I think what happens is he really has a relationship with the writer. He really gets concerned with him because he is honest, because he is a good man, and of course he loved the state too. It's a fascinating film.
Yeah, how the intelligence apparatus corrupts somebody who was like previously a loyal citizen too. That's the other aspect of it too. There's a lot of facets in this movie.
And one of the most interesting ones are the many ironies that happen along the way that make the suspense even greater.
Yeah,
we can't recommend it enough.
Top-notch film.
Can't recommend it enough to go see this film.